In space, no one can hear you scream, yet everyone in a crowded theater can. Since Ridley Scott first brought a xenomorph to the big screen in 1979, alien films have compelled moviegoers to do just that. The famous monster is scheduled to return to screen soon. While Noah Hawley is working on an Alien TV program, a new film in the Alien franchise will be released in 2024. Who will be the next to command space's most dreadful creature? Let's see more of it. Kaylee Spiney, the film's star, recently revealed more about where alien Romulus fits into the franchise's narrative. It's supposed to slot in between the first and second movies, she told Variety. They brought the same team from James Cameron's picture Aliens. The same folks that created the xenomorphs also created ours. So seeing the original design with the original folks, who have been working on these films for 45 years and have dedicated so much of their lives to them, has been very fantastic. This means that Romulus takes place between Ridley Scott's 1979 film Alien and James Cameron's 1986 film Aliens. There's no information on how closely this film will connect with components from either of the previous films. Still, it appears to be an excellent location for a new Alien picture. This location allows Alien Romulus to hint to events that have already occurred in the franchise's timeline, while also referencing events that are yet to occur. We're also excited to hear that more xenomorph fun is on the way. Fede Alvarez, the director, should currently be in production on the new Alien film, which may or may not be called Alien Romulus. Originally planned to premiere on Hulu, Disney has confirmed a theatrical release date of August 16, 2024, which bodes well for the film's quality. As a filmmaker known for harsh, cringe-inducing violence, works to bring the xenomorphs back to our screens, we thought it was time to compile a list of everything we know about Fede Alvarez's new Alien movie. Working title. The ninth film in the series is currently titled Alien Romulus. It's unclear whether that working title will become the final one for the picture. First, we must determine whether the title Alien Romulus is correct. The truth is that we don't know. It's possible that this is a working title or a codename title that will be altered later. The first time we saw the title Alien Romulus was on a production list issued by the Film and Television Industry Alliance. That listing also stated that filming would commence on February 6th in Budapest, Hungary. While the production start date has been moved out to March 9th, filming is still underway in Budapest, Hungary. The location information was correct. Now we must wait and see if the title follows suit. Romulus conjures up two images, neither of which is likely to be relevant to the plot of the film. Romulus was the founder and first king of Rome, and Romulus is also the name of a planet in the Star Trek universe. Alien Romulus plot. The plot of the film has not yet been revealed, but it is touted as an original standalone entry unrelated to prior films. The story will revolve around a group of young people on a distant world, as they find themselves in a confrontation with the most terrifying life form in the universe. We recently found that Romulus is set in the same universe as Alien and Aliens. When the film was originally scheduled to premiere on Hulu, it was compared in scope to the franchise's first film. For those who are attempting to comprehend the film's title, Romulus was the mythological founder of Rome and its first ruler. Young characters in peril. In his previous films, Evil Dead, 2013, and Don't Breathe, Alvarez put young characters through the ringer, and it appears that he will do the same in his upcoming Alien thriller. Every announced cast member in this film appears to be in their 20s, based on online birth dates, and The Hollywood Reporter says that, as opposed to the previous films, which focused on adults in corporate, militaristic, and scientific roles, this now ninth installment of the franchise will focus on a group of young people. On a distant colony, the gang is pitted against the titular extraterrestrial, a xenomorph, whose race reproduces by implanting eggs into people's stomachs via facehuggers, with the juveniles eventually violently bursting out of the host's chest. Is this the alien version of a slumber party slasher? Kaylee Spiney, Priscilla, David Johnson, Industry, Archie Renault, Shadow and Bone, Spike Fern, The Batman, Aileen Wu, Away From Home, and Isabella Merced, Rosaline, are among the cast members. The other ideas. After the release of Alien Covenant in 2017, the Alien franchise could have gone in a number of different paths. Although the film was not well received by fans or critics, it performed well at the box office, $240 million worldwide, and Alien director Ridley Scott desired to make a direct sequel. An opportunity to complete the Alien prequel trilogy that he started with Prometheus and continued with Alien Covenant. That is something that may have happened. Alternatively, the company might have chosen to resurrect Neil Blomkamp's Alien 5 project, which would have reintroduced Sigourney Weaver as series heroine Ripley and given Michael Bihn's Hicks character from Aliens a different fate than we saw in Alien 3. Blomkamp's proposals received a lot of fan support as well as support from Weaver and Bien, but they were shelved because Scott wanted to focus on his prequel trilogy, which in any case came to a halt. Walter Hill, who has been a producer on every Alien film and gained writing credits on Aliens and Alien 3, was another filmmaker who wanted to make an Alien sequel that would have brought Weaver back as Ripley. Hill co-wrote a 50-page Alien 5 treatment with fellow franchise producer David Giler, who has since died, but it never got off the ground. Alvarez has so defeated competition from the likes of Ridley Scott, Neil Blomkamp, and Walter Hill by getting his Alien film into production. The pitch stuck with Ridley Scott. We don't know what Alvarez's tale is, but we do know that the concept impressed Ridley Scott, who is producing the film that could be called Alien ROMULUS. Apparently, Alvarez told Scott about his plan for a new Alien film years ago, and it remained with him. Scott called Alvarez in 2021 and inquired whether he was still interested in making the Alien film. He obviously was. According to 20th Century Studios president Steve Asbell, they opted to go with the movie purely on the strength of Fade's pitch, because it's just a really good story with a bunch of characters you haven't seen before. No connection to other Alien films. According to sources, the script Alvarez wrote with longtime collaborator Rodo Sayagz has no connection to the previous Alien films, except for the appearance of the xenomorph. As a result, we shouldn't expect any tie-ins with the Scott prequels, Ripley's adventures, or Predator crossovers. However, doesn't the scenario about a faraway colony being plagued by xenomorphs seem very similar to what happened on LV-426 before Ripley and the Colonial Marines arrived in Aliens? This is just speculation, but Alvarez could be working on a surprise midco set in the same universe as Aliens, the narrative of LV-426's demise. But it's possible that it's a whole separate colony. Maybe the sources aren't trying to throw us off track, and the film has nothing to do with earlier chapters. Theatrical release. Unlike last year's new Predator picture, Prey the New Alien feature will be released theatrically, with a release date of August 16, 2024 set by the Mouse House. This is comparable to what the studio accomplished with Barbarian, which grossed $45 million on a $4.5 million budget, and The Boogeyman, which has already grossed $25 million and growing. Many believe Prey would have been a box office success if it had been released in theaters, as people still prefer to watch scary movies in a dark theater. Anyone who has ever seen an Alien film in a theater will tell you that it is always the greatest way. The film was able to complete principal photography before the SAG or after strike, thus it is unlikely to be delayed. However, anything is conceivable. TV series. While the film will be released in theaters, Hulu will continue to provide xenomorph entertainment, with Noah Hawley's Fargo Alien TV series recently casting its star, Sidney Chandler. That show will be set on Earth, with FX CEO John Landgraf suggesting that it will take place roughly 70 years in the future, and will not involve any characters from the movies. The infamous Weyland-Yutani Corporation, however, will remain involved. The show currently has no release date and will most likely launch when the next Alien film is released. Are you excited to see a new Alien film that delves into pure horror territory as Fade Alvarez unleashes the xenomorph on a group of teenage colony residents? Leave a comment below to share your thoughts on this project. But the adventure does not finish here. We have a lot more intriguing information on all themes in store for you. To keep updated, make sure you're subscribed and click the notification bell.